Since last interpellator, you have the floor.
Thank you, Joint Chairs. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Mr. Chair, let me just go back a little bit. This is in line, this is partly in line with the questioning of Congresswoman Luistro and the Chair, Dan Fernandez. Let me just first ask Undersecretary Cruz, para lang maintindihan po nung kabuuan, because I believe we're talking about two entities here, no? Relative to Porac, the operation of Pogo, which you raided sometime last month, right? So we're talking about two, Whirlwind Corporation, and what's the other one? Lucky South. So Whirlwind Corporation is the owner of the land where the building was constructed, right?
Yes.
So the building is owned by which company?
Yeah, the building, sir, is Lucky South 99.
So Lucky South 99.
Yes,
so dalawa po yung pinag-uusapan po natin dito, Mr. Chair. So I just like to ask, is it correct that based on your documents, the list of incorporators, as you submitted to the chairman, most of them are questionable with questionable citizenship?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so one of the major stockholders or incorporators in the dun po sa owner of the land is, can you state her the name again?
Nasaan ba yung ano natin? I don't have the record, but I can ask.
Mr. Chair, do we have that record there?
About what?
About the list, kasi dalawa pong pinag-uusapan natin dito, yung lupa at yung building. Opo.
Ng anong
gusto ko lang
area?
pong- yeah,
Porac?
I just want to Porac.
Porac is under the Whirlwind.
Yeah, Whirlwind. Is that
And,
correct?
and the operation is under the Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated, then amended to Lucky South 99 Corporation. So they have four corporations, Congressman Adjong, sa Porac. That is one outsourcing, then amended to corporation, then Whirlwind, and then the other is the global, I think, Lucky South 99 Global Corporation.
Yeah, okay.
Sige.
Thank you. Can I ask Mr. Chair, Security and Exchange Commission, before they be granted with the with the SEC registration of these companies, of course you first vet the list, the names of the incorporators. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And based on the list that you have submitted, let's talk about the Whirlwind Corporation first, okay? Based on the submitted documents and the incorporators, how would you classify them? Are they a foreign investors or local investors? Sec.
For Whirlwind Corporation, it's considered a local corporation.
Local corporation by virtue of the names of the incorporators, which is now under question.
Oh, sa kanila local corporations, no, but it has been established. Yeah. Okay. Oh, sige, go ahead. Kasi na-establish
Kasi
na
gusto ko
natin.
lang maintindihan, gusto ko lang maintindihan, Mr. Chair, because I want to know kung how do they confirm if they have a mechanism in the SEC. Kasi meron tayong Foreign Investment
Yeah.
Act, 'di ba? So it's basically a constitutional provision that only 40% of foreign-owned companies can be actually owned
Allowed,
by foreigners.
yeah. Go ahead,
Gusto ko lang this is an area of legislation. So I'd like to know from the SEC if how do they do? They have a process in which they would determine, confirm the nationalities or citizenship of these incorporators.
Mr. Chair, based on the records that we have for Whirlwind, they are considered a Filipino or a local corporation because 60% of their authorized capital stock belongs to Filipinos, while only 40% belongs to Chinese.
With
So,
this-
according to jurisprudence, they are considered
Yeah.
a local company which could own properties.
So, yeah, but that's actually the ano. Pero my question is, how would you vet? Do you have a system where you can really confirm with all this development going on, with this new allegation of Chinese questionable citizenship? What would you say about your process in granting or giving license or permit to a company na meron ano? So basically, how would you determine that? Because the Foreign Investment Act would serve with no purpose if from the very start, I think the SEC basta lang meron lang silang Pilipino, tapos okay na, gagrant lang namin ng local companies. In your current status and the mandate that you have, is there a way for the SEC to determine really if these incorporators are really Filipino citizens or not? Para mabigyan po ng saysay yung batas na Foreign Investment Act natin na nakalaan naman po dun sa constitutional provision which is only 40% of the stocks of the company can be owned by foreigners.
Yes, Mr. Chair. We are one with the committee in terms of protecting the nationality restrictions of the Constitution. So far, if the investment activities or the operating activities of a corporation would involve a nationalized activity, then we do a stricter check with regard to the incorporators and stockholders if they would really comply with the percentages requirement. So we make sure that the foreign shareholdings are within the limits set by the Constitution. With regard to verifying whether or not these incorporators are really Filipinos, we share a similar sentiment with the other agencies because we can only rely insofar as the government-issued identification that they present with us.
That leads us, Mr. Chair, again to registry of yung local civil registry of Porac. Have we invited Mr. So ibig sabihin you rely on the documents essentially submitted to you by the PSA.
Yes, Mr. Chair, because we have no jurisdiction or authority to determine whether or not a person who presents himself to be a Filipino but is alleged by someone else to be of another citizenship to determine that he is not really a Filipino citizen, Mr.
But
Chair.
is it correct that part of the granting of permits, registration, you also require for a company to divulge to you their initial capitalization?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we require that.
And can I also request, Mr. Chair, if possible, kung kayo ba sa SEC dapat ang mag-submit po sa committee ito yung financial statement and yung capitalization na sinubmit ng Whirlwind?
We have that record, Mr. Chair.
And have you submitted that to this committee?
We submitted as regards Whirlwind, their GIS, and we'll just check.
Can
As regards
I
others.
ask Mr. Chair, our ComSec, if she can confirm whether SEC submitted to us the financial statement and the capitalization as required for Whirlwind Company to provide SEC before they've been granted the license as a company, Mr. Chair?
Okay, you might send us also, submit to this committee those required documents that was asked by Congressman Adjong. Together with the, later on, the SEC, the BIR, please get the list of those companies na illegal pogos. Meron na rin kayong mga legal. Meron din kayo list ng mga legal, di ba?
Mr. Chair, we have the legal. So, as to the
Illegal na lang, illegal na lang.
Yes, Mr.
Okay.
Chair.
Because the problem that I see, Mr. Chair, here is that we don't know whether these companies are run by dummies. Diba? Ganun po yung problema eh. In the end, malalaman natin, bigla na lang tayo magugulat, mga Chinese nationals pala. So, I think for this committee to be able to really address the gaps in the law, I think we need the participation of SEC and maybe arm them with the verification process by which they do not only rely with the the civil registry, in this case, the local registry of Porac. By the way, Mr. Chair, have we invited the local registry office of Porac?
Local civil registry.
So local civil registry of Porac.
Mr. Chair, based on the record that was flashed on the screen, Catherine Cassandra Ong is not registered in Porac. The birth was not registered in Porac.
Where was
Mr. Chair.
where was she born?
She was born in China.
No, I mean the papers that yung
Well,
questionable na papers.
Congressman Adjong, a while ago, we presented the birth certificate of Cassandra Ong and the father of Cassandra Ong. And it shows that she was a Chinese citizen and born in China. So we have presented that a while ago, but basically we have established that in the yung ginamit niya sa PSA, that late registration, pinanganak siya sa San Juan.
Yun nga, Mr. Chair, puro late registration. Tama nga
Same
po yung observation nyo.
You know, the same situation that we have discussed with Congressman Paduano and Congressman.
So maybe if she was not born in Porac as the admin intimated to us just now, which local civil registry do we need to invite? Because if the citizenship is in question, I really want to know from that office how she was able to secure citizenship.
We have invited the PSA and also the immigration, the in and out of Cassandra. At least malalaman natin kung what she uses, no? And at the same time, the last time that we have discussed that, the resource persons from DOJ and Bureau of Immigration have shown us yung mga personalities that what they presented to us, all the documents pertaining to the ins and outs of those people we wanted to find out. And rightly, na-submit naman sa atin. And that's the reason why we have found out that sila, Eddie Yang, are not Filipinos. Si Willie Ong, hindi sila mga Filipinos. And they owned vast of lands in Pampanga. And now, yun din ang gagawin natin dito kay Catherine Ong.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Now, may I ask DOJ po? Gusto ko lang pong maintindihan yung proseso. Granting that the personalities that were mentioned here, whose citizenship are in question, and therefore would affect the nature of the company in itself, like whirlwind companies, di ba? Apparently, mukhang puros Chinese yan. But before that, ano po nangyari sa property Yusek Cruz? Yung sa Porac, ano pong ginawa ninyo? Napadlock na ba? Wala nang operation?
It's under a preservation order signed by Executive Secretary
So
Lucas Bersamin.
what was the proposal or recommendation of your office on what the government would do with this property?
Criminal forfeiture will be eventually filed.
Okay. Because
for
if I
that
heard the
Porac
chairman
approval.
correctly, he said it should be to the advantage of the government, which I agree.
Yes, sir.
So what is your recommendation, Yusek Cruz?
Yes, sir. Same thing, sir. After probably the forfeiture that we won, probably we can convert that into a university, perhaps, Your Honor.
Again, but these are based on the records, no, kung papaniwalaan po natin at yun nang bibigyan natin ng credence, mukhang private property nga po sila, no? Itong own na to. So that's why I want to ask DOJ. Granting that the recommendation of PAOK TF na na-approve natin na hindi dapat mapunta ito sa mga hindi Pilipino at apart from the illegal operation, can you enlighten me as to the process of sequestering these properties?
The
what is the
procedure-
sequestration? Yeah.
The
please.
procedure is, I think the AMLAC, the author, is the one in charge of forfeiting or filing cases for forfeiture, not the Department of Justice, because insofar as the prosecution is concerned, we will be filing a case in court, including the criminal forfeiture. So if the case is qualified trafficking in persons against the traffickers or promoting trafficking in persons, criminal forfeiture will be included in the information.
So the cases that will be filed is partly about sequestering the property
Yes, sir. Yes,
in
Apo.
favor of
The government.
the government. So that's where the recommendation of PAOK TF comes into play. Like it might be converted to hospitals,
yeah.
etc. Now, which leads me to my next question, Mr. Chair. Sa local government ng Porac. Of course, before they were granted the permit to occupy, nag-ano po kayo, no? Sabi niyo po kanina.
Last question,
Wala po may-
Congressman, Ajo.
Ang bilis naman. Ang bilis ko magsalita. Ha?
Last na yan.
Last na
You
ba?
still have the time, you still have all the time in the world, you're still young.
Yes, okay. So, tama po ba yung pagkarinig ko sa inyo kanina na bago ho kayo naluklok sa inyong opisina, nandyan na po sila nag-ooperate or
Hindi naman po yung building lang
yung building
doon
lang
sa
nandyan?
yung Thai court po
So, na-occupy na po nila, nag-ooperate?
hindi po ina-apply pa lang po nila noong 2019, Your Honor.
Okay, so hindi ho ba based on doon sa isa sa mga requirement para mabigyan ho sila ng either permit to occupancy and permit to operate, is that you also require them to submit to you the bill of materials of the building that was used for this construction? Tama ho ba
Maybe
yun?
the engineer.
Kasi I think that would also matter on the determination of your local government to assess the value of the property and thereafter the taxes that they need to pay. Am I correct, Mayor?
Yes.
With regards to building, Your Honor, can I?
na lang, opo. Pwede lang po sumagot, Mr. Chair, or kailangan nyo na i-suspend ito? Sige po.
Based on record po, nag-submit po sila ng bill of materials. Doon po sa 42 buildings, Your Honor, yung bill of materials nila is 1,070,000,000 pesos po.
Ano po? 1 million?
1 billion.
1 billion.
70 million po.
Yung mismong
Yung applied building po.
applied building.
Opo.
Yung sa assessor po, paano na-assess ito yung value ng property na to for them to be able to know exactly how much chargeable in terms of their taxes that they need to pay for the LGU? Kasi parang kanina narinig ko po sa BPLO, if I may correct, parang ang dapat ang babayaran nila is nasa 3 billion po ba o 30 million? Sinabi niyo po? Sino ba yung nagsabi?
Mr. Chair, that figure came from the PAGCOR,
PAGCOR.
Mr. Chair.
Tama po ba? Sorry Kasi medyo matagal ho ako nag-antay dito. Nag-mix up na po yung mga sagot ninyo. Chairman Tenko, pagkano po ba yung dapat na babayaran? Kasi mukhang dapat mas malaki nga po yung dapat na babayaran nila eh.
Opo. Kung
Ito na, Lucky 99 na to Hindi na to yung Whirlwind Company. Kaya nga gusto kong i-compartmentalize ni issue para maintindihan po nating taong bayan kasi mukhang nagja-juggle po yung information dito. So magkano po talaga?
sa side po ng PAGCOR, ang binayad po nila ay 181 million. So, kung kinumbert po natin yun, dapat po, dahil business outsourcing dapat po 3 billion ang gross income nun per annum.
On the value of the building that was submitted to you prior to their permit to operate.
Mr. Chair, the buildings as they stand
Ganito
now.
na lang po kasi mukhang kailangan din ho natin umuwi. Nagdeklara nga po Presidente na dapat wala na akong opisina ngayon. Pero pwede po mag-submit na lang po kayo.
We will do that, Mr. Chair.
Yung total value of the building, yung pag-assess ng inyong mga assessor para ma-determine po natin kung magkano po talaga yung hindi lang yung pag-illegal na operation nila, pero ano po dapat yung isisingilin ng inyong bayan at ng PAGCOR, ha?
We will do that, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Thank you po.
Do I still have time, Mr. Chair? I presume I have. Okay. So, ganito na lang po kasi baka nagmamadali po si Chair. So, sa ano po, baka sa ano rin po ito, sa, I don't know if this is, sa annual business permit application po prior to every year, no? Sa Porac. Dinideclare na ba, dapat ho nila declare yung kanilang employees, hindi ho ba? Empleyado? Because I understand in every business permit registration, they have to declare the number of their employees, no?
Opo,
correct?
sir.
And how many foreigners were declared? And how many locals?
Actually, sir,
This is an annual.
Opo, actually, they have renewed po from 2019 po, from their inception until 2023. However, based on records po, parang ang na-declare lang nila is around 5 to 4 employees.
And part of your verification, do you also require them to submit to their visa status, whether they're on working visa or what? For the foreign,
Kung
hire?
foreign, hindi na po namin siya ini-specify kasi, sir, kung are your employees Filipino or foreigners?
But this is a Pogo operation, so we presume most of them are foreigners. Common sense would dictate to you that you need to request them to declare how many foreign nationals, workers do they have in their company and how many locals.
I understand your point, sir. However, during that time po siguro,
Remember, this is a yearly requirement, ha?
opo, it's
Kasi
a
part
yearly
po sa
requirement.
requirement nila is yung medical certificate.
Opo,
Hindi ho ba?
Opo.
Para mabigyan ho sila ng permit to be employed.
opo.
Malay mo, may sakit pa na pala yun. Hindi na po pwedeng makihilahok sa mga ibang tao. So, ano po masasabi nyo doon, ma'am?
For me po, I understand your point that it's really common sense. You should really ask. And actually, under our new tax code po ng Porac, kasi by the time po na umupo si Mayor, he saw that there's a need to update the tax code.
But do you have, like, for example, what you inherited? But you were there in the office even prior to the assumption of Mayor
Wala po, sir. I only assumed office last May.
on how your predecessor requested for these documents before their for yearly registration. Di ba? Ganito na lang kasi mukhang gusto Mr. Chair, I would like to request, Mr. Chair, the local government of Porac to submit to us the yearly declaration of the workers of Lucky Star 99 para ma-determine po natin yung how many are the foreigners and how many are the locals, no? Locally, kasi if I may recall it correctly, the previous committee hearing that we had, I asked PAGCOR, ang sabi po nila, supposed to be 90%, no? Tama po ba? 90% ay yung IGL ba yun o GIL?
Sa SCBPO yun po.
Yun yung bagong recommendation ninyo.
Hindi po. Sa SBPO po sang pangkasalukuyan, 90% po ang Filipino, mga 10% lang po ang foreigners. Dito naman po sa IGL, sa ngayon po 1:1.
So yung po sir, yung Lucky 99, ibig sabihin, I presume na 90% of their workers are foreign nationals.
So po,
That's why I want to know.
Depende po kasi hindi ko po alam talaga ano ba sila. BPO, sila ba'y Pogo? Kung BPO po, 90% dapat Filipino, 10% foreigner. Kung Pogo po, dapat po halos 1:1 eh.
Kaya nga gusto ko po mong balikan uli.
Po,
Yes, thank you, Chairman. Thank you for that. Gusto ko lang pong balikan kayo. Please submit to us kasi mukhang mag-aalas 6 na rin at wala na dapat tayo dito. So can you submit to us, part of the business permit registration, the number of their employees, which are locals.
Thank.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Diba sabi
Thank
ko
you
siya,
po.
bilis ko magsalita. Mr. Chair, so marami pong
Thank you po.
salamat. Thank you.
Okay, so before the chair, okay,